Hello world and all who inhabit it, it is I, the Great Sayran, and my Nintendo Switch OLED, aka the SWOLED, has to be shipped to Nintendo for some repairs. Not my fault. So I had to break out my OG Switch because the repairs could take 2 to 3 weeks. That's a long time, and the new Mario Kart DLC wave is about to drop, and I'm not about to miss that. After swapping all my data back to my OG Switch, which is something I covered in a short video here, I realized just how good my SWOLED is. It isn't as readily available as a Redbox Switch or a Switch Lite, but if you check at the right times, you'll be able to find one, but should you even grab it if you do find one? We're in a recession, but at the same time, we're living through this intense FOMO culture where we need every single upgrade no matter how minor. Apple released an iPhone in my favorite color, so I rebought the iPhone 13 Pro because I just really wanted this screen. I have a problem. I love my SWOLED, but I bought it at launch. It made financial sense at the time for me to grab it, but that might not be the case for most people now. Gaming is a luxury, so more than a year since its announcement and almost a year since it launched, is the SWOLED still worth it? So let's start with the screen. The SWOLED has a 7-inch OLED screen, while the OG Redbox Switch has a 6.2-inch LCD screen. This will be the biggest difference to most people. I mainly play in handheld, so this was already a huge upgrade for me. The Redbox Switch screen isn't bad, it's just no OLED. The colors can pop, especially in a game like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but there can be a slight dulling in the overall vibrancy. I love vibrant colors, saturation, exaggeration, all of that. But I also love accuracy. See, life and nature and all the other things you may want to capture with a cell phone camera need to be a little bit more accurate, but when it comes to games, we're more looking at the graphical sense, like textures and details, and then we focus on color. And the SWOLED doesn't really add to those other things, but it does give you a more accurate representation of color, and that accuracy does matter. I don't watch content on my Switch because I have a cell phone with the OLED screen, and I'd rather watch content there like most people. Though games look better on the OLED, it's not going to give you more performance, meaning games will play the same, but I do think your experience will be slightly better. The SWOLED has thinner borders, which is great for immersing you in the content. Eliminating those borders is how Nintendo's got an extra 0.8 inches out of a very similar form factor. I do recommend a screen protector though, because this screen is closer to glass than it is plastic, so with a heavy enough drop, shattering can/will occur. The body of the SWOLED feels extremely premium. It's one of my favorite devices to just hold, if that makes sense. The metal chassis always feels cool to the touch, and the very slight texture gives it a nice feel as your fingers happen to rest upon it. It just elevates the Switch from feeling borderline like a toy to an actual premium device. It is a tad bit bigger, which can be a problem with tight-fitting accessories like a grip, but mainly 99% of all accessories will work on both the OLED and the Redbox Switch. In comparison, the Redbox Switch is plastic on plastic, but it has a unique feel to it as well. It feels like you don't have to be as careful with it, though I'd recommend it. It's nostalgic for me since I've dumped the majority of my playtime on this Switch, but it's also reminiscent of a Game Boy Advance. I mean, honestly, that's all this is a gigantic Game Boy Advance. The Redbox Switch has no real advantage of the SWOLED if you care about design language and all that stuff. The kickstand was a huge deal, but the SWOLED launched after I was willing to prop my Switch up and play games with someone. If I'm home, my Switch is docked, and if not, it lives in a grip. Tabletop mode is much better with the kickstand, but at this point, I think most people either have multiple Switches in the household or dock their Switch to a TV and play the game together that way. I have trouble seeing this kickstand as a legitimate selling point rather than an added benefit. The Switch is no slouch when it comes to software. Being the dedicated indie machine that it is, devs of all sizes dump their games on here. Big time developers want to tap into their 100+ million user base, and small time developers love the ease of developing on the Switch. I mean, no one is buying this for its graphical prowess, but you can put some amazing things on here. With that being said, there is no actual difference in how games play on the SWOLED versus the Redbox Switch. Nintendo didn't upgrade the internals on this device at all as much as people wanted them to. It's the same performance whether you're on the OLED or not. Your experience might be a bit better with the accentuated colors coming from the OLED screen, but games like Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity are still gonna run at sub 30 FPS. The dock may look different, but all they really did was add an Ethernet port, which is a good add, but if you're a docked only player, you wanted more performance, not more connectivity. Yes, the Switch needs more power for iteration, we all know that, but I'm not gonna harp on that right now. But honestly, for that reason, I say that this wasn't a huge deal. If you're looking to buy a Switch for the first time, then yeah, save up the extra $50 and get the OLED. But if you're wondering you should upgrade from the Redbox Switch or even the OG Switch, I'd hold off. Unless you got it like that, or you have a legitimate use for the old Switch, like reselling it or giving it to a loved one like I did. I love my Switch OLED, but my Redbox Switch with its massive borders, plastic body, crap kickstand, LCD screen, What do you think about the Switch OLED versus the Redbox Switch? Is it worth the upgrade? Let me know down below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.